Yes.
Okay, we'll start in order. Bob Gibbs is first. Would you please give us your introductory statement, Bob?
Thank you. Thank you for all coming out tonight. This is democracy in action. People come out and candidates and what they have to say. We appreciate that. I got in this race because I think we need to get this country back to our conservative values of fiscal responsibility, strong defense, personal responsibility, free market enterprise, and common sense solutions. And I'm really concerned about what's happening in this country at the national security issue with what we're doing on the war on terror and also our economic policies. My commitment to you is we've got to get people back to work, get the economy moving again, and how we do that is get the federal deficit spending under control, cut taxes, and rein in bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., and send a clear signal to our private enterprise. Because our problem is a lot of our small businesses and medium-sized businesses are sitting on their hands because they're scared to death of the future because all the uncertainty coming out of Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. needs to send the signals of strong, bring confidence in the future so they'll invest in great jobs and grow this economy. And that's the only way to get out of this. Raising taxes is the worst thing for us to do, and let inflation get out of control would be the second worst thing we can do. We need to get the economy working again. My experience as a small businessman for over 3 decades, and also my experience in the Ohio General Assembly, I have the credentials to work to get that done, to cut taxes, cut spending, and get this economy moving again. Thank you.
Okay, Ombre, your opening statement.
Yes, my name is Ombre Liggett, and you're going to hear a lot of the same things tonight. We're all fairly conservative on all the issues. Pro-life, pro-gun, strong national defense, securing the borders, shrinking the federal government. The answer is not what is the right thing, that, as far as party is concerned or conservatives is concerned. Of course, we need to restore conservative values back to Capitol Hill. I don't believe that the answer to our country is the Democratic Party and necessarily the Republican Party. No, I believe that we do need to bring conservative values. But I believe the answer to the crisis that we're in is the United States Constitution. I believe that we have ignored the Constitution for far too long. It was Thomas Jefferson who said this. He said, "In question of power, let no more be heard in confidence of man, but bind down his mischief with the chains of the Constitution." We are suffering right now with an out-of-control government that has ignored the rules for far too long. And unfortunately, both parties have been guilty of that. Now, I am running obviously on the Republican primary because I believe in conservative values, but I believe that we as Republicans need to begin to be the party that fights first. Let's restore constitutional authority and restraint back to Capitol Hill. I don't just believe that the Constitution is a good idea. I don't just believe that we should take an oath to support it. I believe that we have to restore constitutional authority back to Capitol Hill. Aren't you guys tired of the government telling you how to live your life? Where to set your temperature? How to raise your dog, let alone your kids? They want every aspect of our lives to be in control. They want to regulate and mandate everything. We have to stand up, become a voice, send somebody different. Albert Einstein said this. He said, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, but expect a different result, that's insanity. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a career politician. I've been in Christian ministry over 20 years, and I have principles, I have moral integrity, and I believe strongly in the Constitution. And I want to ask you right now, would you consider me to be your representative to Congress? I will go to work for you and not for myself.
Jeanette, your opening statement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeanette Ball, and I'll summarize who I am in one sentence. I am a pro-life, pro-gun, conservative mother of 5. And I believe what we've seen in the last election is sound bites, 30-second sound bites, and smoke and mirrors. And we're looking for a candidate who's not going to talk the talk, they're going to walk the walk. And so when I tell you I'm pro-life, I graduated from college with an infant and a 1-year-old. I've done 3 special needs adoptions through Children's Services, and I'm endorsed by Family First. And when I tell you that I'm pro-gun, I opened the Washington, D.C. office of Ducks Unlimited. I wrote a brief in behalf of your Second Amendment rights in front of the United States Supreme Court, and I'm a concealed carry permit holder. And the issue that's concerning everyone in this room is jobs and fiscal responsibility. I won an award for service from the U.S. Department of Treasury in 1985. I run my own company where just this week I was writing paychecks. It's rare for a member of Congress to know what it's like to write the front of a paycheck instead of just the back. And I know the only way to legally balance a budget is to spend less, not print more money. We do need to get back to our constitutional foundations. You'll see many of the candidates say they believe in the Constitution. But as I sit in front of you today, I sat on the bench for 10 years. I was never once reversed on appeal because I knew my job was to interpret the law, not to write the law. And I represented the United States Bill of Rights Foundation in front of the United States Supreme Court. I'm asking you that you join my team. We've got teams on the ground in all 16 counties. We've raised money in all 16 counties. And so I'm asking that you join my team, pick up my literature, and when you open it up, you'll see a postcard. We're asking you to help me make Nancy Pelosi the former Speaker of the House. And the postcard, you can tell me what you would like me to tell her my first day on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Michael, your opening statement?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. And I'd just like to say that we do all share, as Andre said, we do share a lot of the same values. I tend to be more libertarian in a lot of my views. I believe the government is way too big. I believe we have way too many treaties and trade agreements that have cost us millions of jobs. Go back to NAFTA and GATT. That's one of my pet peeves. That remember what Ross Perot told us back in the 90s, that NAFTA would be a shaft. And I think he is exactly right, that a lot of jobs would be lost in Mexico. And then from the other trade agreements, and the lack of being able to afford for corporations to work in this country, that they had to send the jobs over. And I'd like to see American jobs come back. I'd like to see civil liberties come back. As a police officer, I recognize on both sides of the fence whether the person that you stop on and whether also the police officer that the right that you have to protect civil liberties and ensure the rights of everyone.
Dave, your opening statement?
Hi, my name is Coach Dave Valdenmeyer. It's an honor to be here tonight, as I'm sure everyone would agree with. I was a high school football coach, folks, back in 1997. Was sued by the American Civil Liberties Union for praying with our football team back in 1997. Seems like that, I can't believe what a time has gone. I walked away from teaching and coaching at that time, didn't get fired. Somebody told me, said, listen, they're going to run you out of town, you might as well leave the parade. So I didn't get fired. I laid my job down and spent the last 10 years of my life fighting the values that we're all talking about out in the public square. And I really think that you're going to find tonight, as Andre said, we all hold the same values. It's not about who's more conservative. It's not about that. The decision that you're going to have to make tonight when you leave here is which one of us do you believe that you're going to be able to send to Washington, D.C. and have them stand up to Nancy Pelosi and even, unfortunately, even to the Republican leadership and say, no, I have a life history of being a leader of men. As a 25-year veteran football coach, I know how to make decisions. I had to make fourth and short. You haven't made a decision, but you made a fourth and short decision with people looking over your shoulder. I can promise you that. Here's what I want to do. I do not want to win Zach Space's seat to go sit in Zach Space's seat. I don't know if you know this or not. Last summer I spent 7 nights sleeping outside his office in Zanesville, Ohio, asking, would Zach please come out and play? Would he please come out and face his constituents? I had no intentions of running for office, but find myself in here today because we need someone who's going to go to Washington, D.C. with maybe as many as 70 new legislators and grab a flag and run up the hill and say, come on, boys, let's take our country back. I'm a leader. That's why I'm here. Not that these guys aren't great conservatives, but I believe I have a history of putting a team together. I won't back down on the hard issues. I'm a decision maker, and I'd be honored if you sent me to Washington, D.C. to represent you. Thank you. God bless you.